Hello. Today we'll understand the process of balancing redox reaction by the half reaction method. The chemical equation or the reaction given to you could be either in acidic or in basic medium, so we just have to balance it accordingly. So first let us try balancing a chemical reaction which takes place in acidic medium. So let us look into the steps. Our question is we have to balance MnO4 with a 1 negative charge plus S2O3 with a 2 negative charge, and these two reactants, they give us S4O6 with a 2 negative charge and plus Mn with a 2 positive charge. Now the very first thing is we have to find the oxidation numbers of each of the atoms present over here. If you don't want to find that, it's okay, but if we find the oxidation numbers, then we get to know which half reaction is the oxidation half reaction and which one is the reduction half reaction. So let us start the process by finding the oxidation number. If you do not clearly understand how to find the oxidation numbers, please watch the video on calculating oxidation numbers. So let us find that. Oxidation number of oxygen over here is -2. Mn, if you calculate, you're going to get it as +7. Oxidation number of oxygen over here is a -2. The sulfur would be +2. Oxidation number of oxygen over here is -2 and the sulfur over here is +5/2. So we can have the oxidation numbers in fractions, and because this is just a monoatomic ion, so oxidation state is +2. Now, what we'll first do is we'll see where is the oxidation and where is the reduction taking place. So from this manganese to the manganese ion over here, the oxidation number is decreasing. It's going from +7 to +2. So it is a reduction taking place. And for sulfur, it is going from 2 to 2.5. So it is increasing, and hence this process is oxidation taking place. Now we are going to break down the reaction into two half reactions. So first we'll take the oxidation half reaction and balance it out. So our oxidation half reaction is S2O3 with a 2 negative charge gives us S4O6 with a 2 negative charge. So the first step of balancing is balance all other atoms except for hydrogen and oxygen. So first we have to balance out the sulfur. Sulfur is 2 over here, 4 over here. To make the sulfurs 4 over here, we'll multiply it by a 2. We'll put the coefficient 2, so the sulfur is balanced. The next step is to balance oxygen, add water molecules. So we have 3 times 2, 6 oxygens and 6 oxygens. We don't need to do anything. It's already balanced. And the next step is to balance hydrogen. You have to put H positive ions just because the reaction is taking place in acidic medium. Again, we don't have any hydrogen, so we don't have to do anything. And the last step is balance the charges by adding the electrons. So to get the total charge on the left-hand side, the -2 will be multiplied by a 2. So the total charge on the left-hand side is -4, and the total charge on the right-hand side is -2. So what we're going to do is balance out the charges. We have to put electrons. So electrons, 2 of them will be added on this side. Now -2 and -2, it becomes -4. So the charges get balanced out. So we've been already able to balance out our oxidation half reaction. Now let us take the reduction half reaction and balance it. So our reduction half reaction now is MnO4 with a negative charge, and this gives us Mn2 positive charge. So the first step again, balance all other atoms except for hydrogen and oxygen. So we have only manganese. So manganese is one atom over here, one atom over here. We don't need to do anything. The next step is balance oxygen by adding water molecules. We have 4 oxygen atoms here, none over here. So we are just going to add 4 water molecules on the right hand side to balance out the oxygens. The next step is balance hydrogen by putting H positives. So we have 4 times 2, 8 hydrogens. So we are going to put 8 H positives on the left hand side. Hydrogens are balanced. And the last step is balance charges by adding the electrons. So let us figure out the total charge on the left. It's 8 positive and 1 negative. So the total charge over here is 7 positive. Let us check out our charge on the right hand side. So we have 2 positive and no charge over here. So the total charge just remains 2 positive. And then because we have to add electrons, so we will be adding 5 electrons on the left hand side, because 5 negative and 7 positive gives us 2 positive, which equalizes the charge on the left and the right. Now we have 2 half reactions already balanced out, so we can actually add them together to get the final balanced equation. But the only issue is that we cannot have these electrons. So to cancel out these electrons, we need to make their coefficients the same. What we are going to do is multiply this equation by a 2 and multiply this equation by a 5. So let us rewrite these equations. So first we are writing the oxidation half reaction. So everything we are going to multiply it by 5. So this gives us 10S2O3 with a 2 negative. It gives us 5S4O6 with a 2 negative charge plus 5 times 2, 10 electrons. And now we are going to multiply the reduction half reaction with a 2 and write it down. So we have 5 times 2, 10 electrons plus 8 times 2, 16 H positive, plus we only have 2 MnO4 with a negative charge, and on the right hand side we have 2 Mn with a 2 positive charge, and 4 times 2 is 8 water molecules. So now we'll add these 2 equations. So the whole idea of doing this was to cancel out the electrons. So these 10 electrons and these 10 electrons, they get cancelled out. And then now we are going to write the final equation. So we have 16H positive plus 2 MnO4 with a negative charge plus 10 S2O3 with a 2 negative charge, and this gives us 5 S4O6 with a 2 negative charge plus 2 Mn2 positive plus 8 H2O. So this is our balanced chemical equation in acidic medium, just because it has got these H positive ions in the final equation. We can also actually check it out if we have done it correctly or not. So we have 16 hydrogens on the left, 8 times 2, 16 hydrogens on the right. We have 2 Mns on the left, 2 Mns on the right, 5 times 4, 20 sulfurs on the right, 10 times 2, 20 sulfur on the left. Now the only thing is we have to check out for oxygen. So oxygens on the left are 4 times 2. So we have 8 oxygens plus 10 times 3. We have 30 oxygens. So when we add them together, we get a total of 38 oxygens. Let us check it out on the right hand side. Here we have 6 times 5, 30 oxygens, and we have 8 oxygens. So again, when we add them together, we have 38 oxygens. So we have the oxygens also which are balanced. Now the last thing is just to check the charge. The charge over here is 16 positive and 2 negative, which gives us 14 positive and 20 negative. So this gives us a total charge of -6 on the left. Let us check it out on the right. So we have 5 times -2, which is -10, and 2 times 2, which is +4, and -10 +4 makes a total of -6. So this is our chemical equation which is balanced out in acidic medium. Now from here we can take the same equation and balance it in basic medium also. So let us first write this down again. So we have 16H positive plus 2MnO4 with a negative charge plus 10 S2O3 with a 2 negative charge, and this gives us 5S4O6 with a 2 negative charge plus 2Mn with a 2 positive charge plus 8H2O. Now, because we don't need these H positive ions, so whatever number of H positive ions are there, the same number of OH negative ions we are going to add on both sides of the equation. So on the left hand side, I'm adding 16 OH negative, and on the right hand side also I'm adding 16 OH negative ions. Now what was the point of doing this? Here 16 H positive and 16 OH negative, these two together make 16 water molecules. So do you see how we have no H positives now? But we have 16 water molecules over here and we have 8 water molecules over here. So we can bring these 8 water molecules on this side. So it gives us 16 minus 8 and we are left with 8 water molecules, and these are gone from here. So we can write our equation now again. So we have 8H2O plus 2MnO4 with a negative charge plus 10 S2O3 with a 2 negative charge. This gives us 5S4O6 with a 2 negative charge plus 2Mn with a 2 positive charge, and we have 16 OH with a 1 negative charge. So here is our equation, balanced one in the basic medium, because we have the OH negative ions and now we do not have any H positive ions. I hope you understood and enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.